Supervision is an important part of the project management process. In our line of work, we use subcontracting crews that go and complete the work very quickly. But there's little tiny details that can slip through the cracks, and that's what the supervisor's for. They're there to mitigate those, they're there to put out fires before they happen, and they're there to make sure that the customer feels comfortable throughout this process. The estimator, when they go there, is going to communicate a couple things to the customer, and when they close that deal with them, we want to make sure that the supervisor is making sure that every single thing that the estimator said is coinciding with what the crews are doing, because the crews weren't there during the estimate. So they're that bridge of communication. Now, a supervisor doesn't need to stay in the job all day. They can stay there 30 minutes or an hour, okay? But they're being proactive that 30 minutes or an hour. So if you have a couple jobs, like 4 or 5 jobs you're managing, take your mornings to project manage. Get up early, make sure the guys are getting going. Make sure that anybody in the company that has to call that customer is doing that. And most importantly, make sure the cash flow of the job is good. If you've got a crew going through an entire job and they're halfway through and they haven't collected the mid-tier payment, that's bad, because those crews are gonna want their mid-tier payment. And there's materials and different costs that we have to make sure that we stay on top of. So managing cash flow, managing customer expectations, and managing the smoothness of the job is the role of the supervisor. And to really end this off, a really good supervisor is also able to make the crews happy at the same time. They're not just somebody who just tells the crew what to do and is really hard on them. They make both the customer and the crew feel happy at the same time. And sometimes this can be hard because there's a thing called a change order in construction. And change orders are when there's a difference in scope of work that happens on a job, maybe because we rip up something and we find that there's more work underneath that thing that we ripped up that we could not see in the initial estimate. So getting through the change orders, properly charging the customer, properly communicating with them so they don't get taken advantage of, keeping the subcontractor happy, and making sure that the subcontractor doesn't overcharge you for the change order, and keeping that profit in the middle of this relationship nice and healthy, and managing all this, that's supervision in a nutshell.